All right, guess we are live. Maybe there's so many people on the internet. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Me again today, 2 days in a row. We're going to try to do this live. I've got Skeeter, a service dog here. He don't belong to me. Belongs to PTSDog. And this is JJ.
JJ's good.
He's the admin that runs the look at the camera, everybody. He's the admin that runs PTSDog page. And what I want to do is, biggest one I want to try and do is, we've had him on our radio show. We've had him on our page. We've been trying to help him get the money raised to get this book published. And what is the book called again?
It's called PTSDog, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and the Service Dog.
So it's a guide on how to...
It's about service dogs in general, PTSD service dogs specifically.
Yeah.
And the ADA, the laws about what a service dog is.
It's a how-to guide?
It's kind of a how-to, just
knowledge.
General knowledge, horror stories and success stories. Some veterans share their stories.
You don't have your bullet statement. He doesn't have his bullet answer ready yet.
I don't have it.
So it's a book about service dogs. And will it help vets learn about?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
All right, so it's a good cause. And we truly believe in this guy. Don't we, Bo? We got Bo on Skype.
Yes.
Just yes. Bo's a yes man for tonight.
I was reading this comment that said nice husky, and I was wanting to tell JJ.
No, we're going to stick to the format. So, again, right now we don't, as you know, we don't normally push GoFundMes, but knowing that we've personally vetted JJ here of PTSDog and his Facebook page, which is, I've heard, exploded in likes in the last week. You've doubled your page size and your reach. That's awesome. You must be one hell of a page admin.
I'm one tired page admin.
Facebook doesn't really like. Look at. So what kind of dog is this?
He's an Alaskan Malamute.
No, that's a Siberian Husky, right?
No.
Do you get that a lot?
Oh yeah. Wow, that's a really big Husky. No, it's an average size Malamute.
What's the difference between a Siberian Husky and a Malamute?
Well, they're both northern dogs. The Siberian Husky was developed in Siberia. The Alaskan Malamute was developed by the Malamute tribe of Inuits in Alaska. In fact, this may be the true American dog that's been in America the longest. But a Malamute weighs between 85 and 115 pounds roughly for a male, 75 to 95 pounds for a female, whereas a Husky's about 35 to 55 for a female and 55 to 75 for a male. But the biggest difference when you look at them is in their faces. Huskies' noses are a lot sharper, and their ears are closer together and face forward.
You guys getting all this?
Malamute's ears are out on the side, and they can actually turn their ears backwards so that they can hear you talking behind them, which is good on a sled.
This one says he likes you. So, you guys, so we're talking to JJ of PTSDog page, and also the author and soon-to-be author, or soon-to-be publisher of the book. What's the name of it?
PTSDog, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and the Service Dog.
And it's as easy as going to his page or in the links. You'll see this. Oh, that's real good. See a picture of him. And what you want to do is watch everybody. Look at that. So easy, even DV6 can do it. Now look, his goal is 5,000. Come on, let's help this guy. He's trying to help our fellow vets. And his page is not your typical Facebook page where, they're trying to, do fire missions and all this other crazy stuff, whatever's in the news. He's there to help people that have questions, that need help on service dogs, and to educate the public and the civilians at large, all the things that go with service dogs. One of the most frequented problems that people have with service dogs when we go out in public, what would you think is the number one?
The number one issue is that people
don't
when I walk into a store or a restaurant, don't know the law. So they don't know when I walk in with a service dog that the service dog is allowed to be there.
So what you're supposed to do is you take a picture of the business and then blast them on Facebook? No.
No.
What's the right way to handle a situation?
The best
You
way
gotta
to deal
keep
with
it short, though.
Yeah, the best way to deal with it is to explain to them what the ADA says. They can ask
Remain
2
calm.
questions. Yeah, keep calm, be cool, know the ADA, and explain. You can ask me 2 questions. Is that a service dog? What trained to perform tasks to assist with a disability, and what tasks is the dog trained to perform?
Yeah, and after all that, what if they still,
You know what? If let's say it's a restaurant, there's another restaurant right next door.
there you go.
Turn around, walk out, and call corporate if it's a chain, or if it's not a chain, if it's a small town or whatever, you can file a complaint with your state Department of Justice or the U.S. Department of Justice if your state doesn't have one. Don't cause a scene. Don't get into a fight. It's not worth it. There's always another little diner down the road.
That's a good answer. Good answer. How many times a day do you get when you're out in public, people asking to pet your dog?
I've lost count. I should carry a little clicker around for every time we go out.
But at least they're asking,
They
right?
do, yes. Most people ask. I've had a few situations recently where people just walked up and pet him. Had an older gentleman, probably World War II generation, and maybe a veteran, just walk up and start petting him at Walmart the other day. Normally I'd educate at that point in time. I just said, "Have a nice day, sir," and let it go.
This dog is awesome. But everybody remembers Scout, my dog, and Scout did not like people, and technically you can't be a service dog if you bite people. And Scout bit people, but you know what? We had him under control, and it took a lot. But I forgot where I was going with this question. Even with all the people that, if your dog looks as good as this dog, you can't get upset.
Yep.
The public is just not, look, they're fighting over Tide Pods. They're eating Tide Pods. So people trying to pet your dog, is that better? Ow. Oh, Skeeter. All right, so we're talking to JJ of PTSDog. We're also trying to promote his GoFundMe. If you'd like to help him attain his goal of getting this book published, please go to his GoFundMe. The link is in the comments below, and donate what you can. $5-10 can go a long way. We just had a big T-shirt sale on his behalf. We raised $400, which went to his goal of $5,000. And I really want to see you get this book published. I've followed you for quite a long time. I think you're doing a hell of a job. I know there are other pages out there, but I haven't seen too many of the caliber of what you're putting out. Now, you were in the military. What branch of service, and what'd you do?
I was a journalist in the United States Navy for 15 years.
Wish somebody had told me that. I am being retarded and compliment him how good he is with his writing on it, and he's got training in it. How long were you in the Navy for?
15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
What happened?
I broke my back. And when I broke my back, my head went a little cuckoo.
Yeah.
I wasn't over-exercising.
The spine's connected to the brain.
Yeah. Well, I was running 10, 15 miles a day and over-exercising and then drinking too much instead of understanding there was something else going on.
Over-drinking? I never heard of that.
Never heard of that, yeah.
Why do what you're doing? Why are you, like, first of all, why help people? And second, why service dogs?
Well, I have PTSD, and I went through all the treatments that the VA do. I did inpatient, I did exposure therapy, I did the EMDR, I did group therapy, I did, you name it, they threw it at me, including a lot of the medications. And nothing worked, nothing changed, nothing got better.
Right.
And so as a last resort, I said, okay, well, what about a service dog? And the VA went, well, we don't know. So
Meaning they don't know, like, it'll help, or we don't know if we can give you a dog?
We don't know if it'll help. At that point in time, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I decided to start studying and learning, and learn about what a service dog could do. And the more I started working with him, the more I realized that a lot of people really don't have any idea what a PTSD service dog is or what they can do to help.
There are so many, the law, I love how the law is just a basic, simple law, but there is just so much confusion, even in this day and age with the internet.
Well, and there's a lot of misinformation being spread out.
And that's what I like about your page. You're interested in the facts. You also provide a service. I know you don't get paid for what you do. You're doing it out of the love of doing it, but I know of all the people that you've helped. You answer questions, and you know, unfortunately, you know, you keep getting the same basic question. So until everybody knows,
yeah, I mean, it's an education campaign, really.
yeah,
because even handlers don't often understand the law regarding their service dogs.
No, I've seen people with service dogs. I have my own personal experience. You know, I see people out there that are misusing it. And there'll always be people out there abusing the law. But service dogs, you know, being given plates of food in a restaurant. If you really know what your weight and salt and you know what you're doing, you wouldn't do that. Yeah. Dogs that aren't under control. But again, I think what you're doing is great. And, you know, I want to see you get this book published. You've got a GoFundMe up. It's set up in the comments, or you can go to his Facebook page at PTSDog, Facebook.com. Click on the link. It's pinned to the top. It's GoFundMe. He's about halfway through to his goal. Let's help this vet out and have him help out. By helping him out, we're helping other vets. His book is a guide on the how-to of service dogs and basic questions answered. Again, what is one of the best things about this dog and how he's helped you? Like, what were you before you had this dog?
I was a mess. I was suicidal. I was homicidal. I was probably borderline psychotic. I didn't sleep.
The meds from the VA probably.
Yeah. I didn't sleep. I drank too much. I had no mission in life. I had no focus.
What was your social life like?
I didn't have one.
You talk on your show. I heard you say, you know, and also he has a radio show on the DV radio network. What's it called?
The Service Dog Show with PTSDog.
And you were talking about how I heard you say that, you know, a dog is like a crutch or it's an extension.
That's what a lot of psychiatrists or psychologists say, is a dog's just a crutch.
What you said hit me home. Do you remember what you said?
What a service dog, what a PTSD service dog is you have to remember PTSD changes your brain. It hardwires your perception to the fight or flight response section of your brain. There's no filtration in there where you can just determine, okay, wait, this is not actually a threat. You perceive something before you can decide whether or not it's a threat, you're already reacting. The dog is not a crutch. The dog becomes like a circuit breaker in there to add that filtration. When you learn to trust your service dog, he's like a mental prosthetic.
That's
just
what
like,
it.
Just like if you're missing the end of your arm, they give you a prosthetic arm and hand. That's not a crutch. That's a replacement for the part that's missing or broken.
I like what
that's how the service dog works.
Mental prosthetic. Yeah. I'll give you an example of how it worked with me with my service dog Scout, and that was he in a crowd, and I know a lot of people have this. He would act as a buffer in a crowd. If I had to get out of a crowd, he would punch through it. He would block other people from getting too close. Mm-hmm. Now, over time, you know, I can function just fine now without the dog. As a matter of fact, Scout did not like going into Walmart at all. So if I was really in need and I didn't, you know, I had to go in Walmart and I really wanted my dog with me, he had a timer. But it also helped me by having the dog. I like that mental prosthetic. When you say a mental prosthetic, when I was more apt to go out if I could take the dog with me. I was more apt. I was able to engage with people because of the dog. Does that make you a weak person?
No. I was socially isolated. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I couldn't sit across from you. You know, if you were a stranger, and have a conversation with you about anything. I would just shut down and either leave or just sit there. What I discovered is my service dog has become a bridge through which I may not be able to talk to you about the weather, but if you want to know about my dog,
right,
I can talk to you all day long.
Yeah.
And so it began to create an opportunity for me to communicate and connect with other people again, where before I was completely isolated and wouldn't talk to anybody.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, you know, a lot of the other things I hear him talk about on the air, and these are things you guys need to know about. And you can go to his page on Facebook, PTSDog, speaking to JJ, the head admin, and the author of
Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and the Service Dog.
And it's a book we're trying to raise money for. On his GoFundMe, we're trying to reach a goal of 5,000. The other thing that talk about is what a service dog even though you have PTSD and all that, what it can do for you emotionally and for your mental health, by bringing you out of your shell, by getting you outside, giving you a reason to come home.
You know, the puppy saved my life. The dog gave me a mission, and that's to bring that life-saving power of a service dog to other veterans.
I think it's great what he's doing. If you do too, please go visit his Facebook page or click the GoFundMe link down below. Let's help JJ reach his goal of 5,000. I truly believe in what you're doing. If you have any questions on service dogs and you come to the DV page, we're 90%, 100% of the time going to refer you to him. He's doing great work. You know, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know, go ahead. Do you have an email or a? It's just your Facebook page.
My Facebook page. I have a website, ptsdog.co, but it points everybody to the Facebook page. Most of the traffic is there. You can email me from the website. There are links there to contact me through the website.
It's a great Facebook page. You know, they talk about all kinds of things. Do you know there's a lot of misinformation out there? We get questions all the time about people. I don't have thousands of dollars to buy a service dog. The VA won't give me a service dog. It's really not that complicated. There are different levels of service dogs. If there's categories, and there's high functioning service dogs, and those are typically, I don't know, is that the right category?
No. There's service dogs that are task trained, perform a task to assist with your disability.
And that's at the highest level of training.
That is a service dog.
Yeah.
Okay. But what do you call the dog while you're training it?
No. I know that, but what I'm saying is, though, the cost of training these dogs, like the way I look at it is, we have dogs that are task specific. You know, a guy's missing both his arms. A dog is taught to fetch things, shut lights off, open doors, closets, stuff like that. Right. That's highly trained, has to perform specific tasks, and that usually requires professionals. You know, the average, not necessarily, but look, it's me. Yeah. Am I going to train that dog? Look at me.
You have the capability of doing it, yes.
But what I'm getting at is, so when we talk about PTSD dogs, you know, there are a lot of people don't know that if you follow the guidelines, and you can get guidance from people like this guy, or, you know, even me to a certain point, but you can get your dog to the level to be qualified to be a service dog without going through these fly-by-night service dog agencies. Not all of them are, but there are a few out there. There are a few out there. So knowledge is power.
You have the right to train your own service dog.
People don't know that.
But you have to train the service dog to the standards of the ADA. And most people who self-train, train them to much higher standards.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a dog at my feet. This dog is like 10 feet long. He's huge. I love him. Oh, you got to see the video on his page of me and this dog. All right, but again, this book of his is going to help vets. It's a good cause. I'm sorry it doesn't have little kitties on it and stuff like that, but let's get an extra $5 laying around. Go to his GoFundMe page and go donate it. You know, any other questions? Bo, is there anything you've seen in the comments we should address before we go?
The only one that really came up was, how do you deal with people saying what you've experienced isn't something that should give you PTSD? Oh,
that falls under the category of dumbasses you encounter during the day. And then I swore. I was trying not to swear during this whole video, so this would make it on the MSNBC.
You know, the best response I've heard, and this comes from one of the readers of my page, is, "Oh, really? Are you a trained psychiatrist? Are you my psychologist?" You know, people challenge your level of disability. Anybody. You don't really need to be in that wheelchair. Oh, I'm cured.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Thank you so much. You know, be a smart ass right back to him.
There's nothing worse, too, than, you know, your fellow vets degrading your level of service based on some unimaginable standard and stuff.
Everybody's an individual.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own experiences. I'm not in a position to judge your experiences. It's not my job. It's not my place.
If a service dog helps get a vet off of all the friggin' meds and will get a vet outside and functioning again, it's a win.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Well, it's been great having you on. Stay in touch. Again, this is JJ from PTSDog, the Facebook page, and the author of
Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and the Service Dog.
Check out the GoFundMe and the links, and thank you, everybody, for your time, and we'll see you on the other side. And don't forget, you like what you see here, leave us a positive review, and don't forget to subscribe to our Dysfunctional Veterans YouTube channel. Other than that, that's all I got.